Hi everyone, Ray from Pro String with another racket restringing tutorial. Oh, just putting away some string. So as you can see on the machine already is mounted a badminton racket. Make sure you give, oh that's too much, sorry. I guess I didn't finish doing what I was doing. No worries at all. So just make sure there's space, that you're able to move the racket around a little bit, not too much of course, as you just saw a moment ago. I hadn't fixed it to the machine properly. This is a more difficult badminton racket to restring. It is slightly more complicated than your normal. It doesn't have any shared holes. Therefore, you'll see as we string this racket, as we progress, you'll see that sometimes there's very little space between the crosses and the mains, and you have to do some magic stuff to be able to get the string across. But anyway, I'll show you guys as best to the best of my ability. Client has requested £27. This is a Forza FZ Precision. Don't know if you guys can see, FZ Precision 10,000 M. So that's FZ Forza Precision 10,000 M. All right, guys, 27 pounds tension. I believe you can go to 32 on this racket. 13.5 lengths of the full racket, including grip and head, all the way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half. Maybe not. Just under 13 and a half is what I normally use. Yeah, so this is, where was I going? Lost my words. All good in the hood, no problem at all. So we need to always start from the bottom. Oh, the string we're using, that's what I was gonna say. So as you can see, the color is pink, and it is Yonex BG80, 80, to be exact. Yonex BG80 0.60668 millimeters, 0.68 millimeters in regards to the thickness of the string. I did string one yesterday, and unfortunately they had given the racket to somebody else. This person always strings with me, and now both times they've gone to a different stringer, they have broken her racket, unfortunately. I will show you. I did tell them that the racket had a crack in it. Unfortunately, she has always comes to me, but don't know what possessed her. Sometimes convenient, sometimes, you know, if they live closer, or, you know, a stringer on site when they're playing, or a friend. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a crack that has appeared here. Unfortunately, I did tell them before I string it, and they said go ahead, try to string it. I believe that there was a possibility it would survive one last restring, and I think that's as best as it's going to be. I did manage to string it, and it survived. And we're going to go with the one that's healthy now, the second racket they brought us. So we've got 22 mains, guys. So we've got 1 to each side, so all we have to do is count 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So like I said, this racket is a bit more difficult to string, no shared holes. Can make it a bit tricky getting the crosses through at some points. I'm not a big fan of stringing Forza rackets, badminton rackets, under the Forza brand. Seems to be, the stringing pattern seems to be quite tight, which is fine. But yeah, it just takes a bit more time and patience. Well, here we go, guys. So hold your clamp up. And remember, the first 3, we're gonna do 3 mains to each side, yeah? Two. 3. double check my camera angle, etc. Fine, seems okay to me. Hopefully to you guys as well. So that's our third main, guys. Now we are going to move to the other side. And 3 on this side, and then so on and so on to each side. It doesn't matter which way around you do it, as long as you're compensating the tension to each side. You want to string symmetrically and not add. You will definitely, if you decide to string all the mains on one side and then the other, I'm telling you now, you're going to either break the racket or deform it. It will lose its shape. So be very careful how you guys restring badminton rackets. As you can see, the racket brought to me yesterday. Unfortunately, I'm not saying I'm God or I'm the best. However, this person had a racket broken by a shop in Mayfair. The only shop pretty much now, which in all transparency was Wigmore Sports. I'm not trying to put them down because I do business with them. They do offer good service. However, they are the most expensive in the UK. Sheerly because of their location, which is understandable in a way, and unfortunately they broke her racket as well. So they literally, it was a brand new racket. This client took them, so she decided after they replaced it. They did replace it. This racket is now discontinued. This model of Forza, of the Forza brand, again Precision 10,000M, has been discontinued. The client actually has found one on eBay, believe it or not. So she was thrilled to at least find one. She had spoken to the Forza distributor that I believe she has good contact with. But they're out of stock, but she found one that suits her needs and price range, etc. On eBay. So good for her. Glad that, you know, she still have 2 of the same rackets. So like I was saying, they broke her racket in Wigmore Sports, unfortunately. Slight slip there of the head to make sure, yeah, fine. And then she came to me and she was super happy. Has been for quite a few years now. She's been stringing with me for about 5 years or so. And now that's the first time she's gone to somebody else in a very long time. I noticed that. I actually noticed not just this, it was very noticeable, the stringing job in itself. The knots were awful, and the tension she had strung maybe 3-4 months ago last time with me, maybe even more, maybe 4 or 5 months. And she said that after a month, or not even, the racket I had done for her was tighter than the one that had just recently been done. The knots were, I sent her a picture of my knot compared to the person that strung her racket last time, and it was completely awful. She agreed that she wasn't happy with the job they had done. I don't know if it was a friend or who it was, but I don't know if she'll raise a claim with a broken racket. I don't like stringing broken badminton rackets. In fact, I don't recommend it. It can create tennis elbow. And actually I hadn't noticed the crack on it, to be honest with you, which I normally do, but sometimes if it's really small crack, depending on the color of the racket, etc., normally on the lighter colors it's much easier to tell. But yesterday in this case I hadn't noticed it, unfortunately. I had noticed it once I'd almost not completed the racket, but maybe 60%-ish through the stringing job. But sometimes these things, especially on badminton rackets, it gets much worse when it's being strung. In other words, until you're starting to add tension throughout the racket. And if it's a hairline fracture, it's understandable. It's very hard to see, especially like I said, depending on the color of the racket. And this one has lots of dark colors, so it's not easy to tell. And to be honest, the crack it's probably 60% away around the frame, but on the other side it hasn't actually cracked all the way. Let's say there's a crack, but until the tension was as I progressed, it started getting worse. So I stopped. They should always stop and let the client know what's happening, just as good protocol. you always want to try to notice these things before stringing, but like I said, with badminton sometimes it can be quite tricky. So as you guys can see, I've used 2 stringing aids. All it is polyester string from a from tennis string. Seems to give me a little bit more space. Some people use badminton string, some people, there's all kinds of strings you guys can use out there, but I find that polyester works really well for me. Gives me that little bit of extra space that I need sometimes to wiggle my way through the main strings that are covering my cross string. And again, guys, as always, up your tension. 15 to 20% is the recommendation on whether it's badminton, squash, etc., etc. It's irrelevant. Put that tension up before you tie your finishing knot. I'm going to tie my knot. I'm going to do my knot, but I'm not going to tie it because there's a lot of covering here, and I've learned that sometimes that actually is quite helpful. Quite helpful to just weave the first 3 or so, never more than 3 really. I had some Forza rackets come in a month ago or so, two other ones, 2 different model. It was quite annoying, I have to say. I think I've got a video up of it somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was before I started doing videos, I can't remember now. Now it seems that I've done quite a few. Okay, so I forgot to put my stringing aid in here, and I'm going to go back because it's incredible how little space. I'm going to show you guys. Let's see if you guys can see. But you can see here, I'm going to zoom in actually. Can you see how little space there's actually, that is covering a cross string with my mains there, but unfortunately it's going to be very tight, very little space. So I'm adding a stringing aid to this side, which I didn't notice on the other side, which I'll therefore go back and do my last. Actually, I'll have to take the knot out because I don't want to fight with that hole afterwards. I want to make my life as simple as possible, even if it is going back just the 1 string. I'm happy with it to redo it. It's no real issue for me. So just clamp and grab myself a little stringing aid, slide it in here, try to pull the string a little bit so it doesn't move before tensioning. Up my tension, guys. Now we'll just have to redo the knot. As I say, no dramas. Lost 30 seconds or so maybe, but that's fine. Because I could lose a lot more time getting the string through that hole afterwards. As I said before, I will not tie my knot just yet. I'm going to weave 3 strings because I know this. I did this racket yesterday and I know this client's racket very well, so I know this model actually quite well. And I know how it likes to play games. So there you go, I've already got 2 strings covering here. All right, a little bit of luck there, fine, cool, always happy with that. As you might be able to see on this side as well. However, I didn't tie a knot on this side, so you may not. Uh-oh. Okay, we're gonna go back, guys. I have made a small move. Okay, I don't need to per se go back, but oh yeah, I do need to go back. All right, so there's so many holes at the bottom. I mean, just lots of individual holes that I'm used to the. Right, I need to go back again. I put the string through the wrong hole, which is okay. Glad I saw that. Something you want to watch out with on this racket because the shared holes are minimal. Where'd that stringing aid go? Pop that. Anyway, so I'll explain in a moment now. I did it right on the other side, but slight slip up here, which is possible. So many holes here together, which is normal obviously, but where did that stringing aid go? it'll pop up somewhere else, I guess. Another one here. Fine. Okay. I'm just glad I noticed that now. But like I said, this racket, I'm not a big fan of stringing this racket, but I'm sure I'll survive. I guess it kind of makes a good tutorial maybe, how it can challenge you. So once I just pull this main through, I will tell you guys which holes to skip. But you can always normally just tell which holes to skip. Right, I need a piece of polyester string. As you can see, this is how I get my stringing aids, guys. Cut a little bit, doesn't have these super sharp edges or ends, but always recommendable to go a little bit sharp. All right, now we're good. Sorry for that, guys. Slight So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Skip 1, 9. Skip 1, 10. Skip 2 holes, 11. That's the bottom. Top is different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip 1, 8. Skip 1, 9. Skip 1, 10. Skip 1, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip 1, 8. Skip 1, 9. Skip 1, 10. Skip 1, 11. So you're pretty much skipping every other hole after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you skip. So from 7 to 11, you are skipping 1 hole. That makes sense. If not, just go back and listen to how I just counted that. It's 7, skip 1, 8, skip 1, 9, skip 1, 10, skip 1, 11. Yeah? So the bottom and top are different on this racket, guys. Watch out with that. It's the first time that you're doing this racket. If you don't get any, if you don't mess it up or anything like that, even if if you see it in time, don't worry, it'll be okay. Just try to catch those mistakes ASAP, really. But yeah, very easily done, even though I did it right on the other side. I put the main in the wrong hole, as you can see, as you could see. All right, this looks all well and fine now. We've got 2 skips there, 1. Everything's good. Everything's good. Are most of tell me, guys, are you guys watching? What purposes are you watching the video for, or any of the videos? Doesn't have to necessarily be these. But if you subscribe to my channel, what do you string yourself? What is it you look from these videos? Are you looking to string? Are you just a badminton player and just a badminton, squash, tennis player and just like watching people string? What is it that brings you to my videos? Let me know. Interested in knowing a bit about what you guys, what it is you guys are looking for and trying to find on YouTube, for example, through stringing tutorials. Let me know. I'm interested also in just getting to understand what it is that bring you guys to my videos. I uploaded a badminton. It seems that badminton stringing is definitely more. I've got more views. I uploaded a video a couple days ago, 5 days ago actually, I lie. 5 days ago, and I have 1,500 views on that one. Badminton, Astrox, one of the Astrox videos. I only noticed that because I was just uploading a video this morning. Again, I have a lot of videos to upload. So there's probably another at least 20 videos on that I've not uploaded just yet. I like to do them little by little. Guys, as you can see, I'm stringing one ahead as always. What does that mean? I'm not just weaving one string and then pulling it. That's the more difficult way of doing things. So as you can see, and then support your string that you are physically tightening. What time are we on? 20 past 11, almost 11:17 of March the 19th, 2024. I believe it's the 19th. Is it 20th already? Oh dear. Alexa, what day is it today? I don't even know what day I live in. There you go. 19th of March it is. I do know what day I live in. Alright, get rid of that knot. Lots of demand, guys. I have an incredible amount of demand right now. My colleague did 3 rackets last night, but I'm starting to get a bit almost anxious, perhaps. It happens to me frequently. When I start looking at the floor over here, I've got rackets all over. I've got, well, I don't know, forget it. I'm not counting them. I've got at least 20 rackets waiting. And everybody always, for Friday, and 20 rackets waiting here, plus downstairs. Oh, God. It's, don't get me wrong, it's a good problem to have. I'd rather have this problem than the opposite, which is not enough rackets. Then I'd be slightly worried. Guys, moving your hand along the string, don't just pull the string without using your left or right hand, depending which way the racket's looking up or down. So, as you guys have probably noticed already, this I'm doing a one-piece stringing job. 2 knots, both just finishing knots, no starting knots in this video. Always use my Parnell knot, not mine, but the Parnell knot. And another question for you guys, people viewing this, is it surely badminton players, badminton stringers? Do we have any squash stringers watching this? Tennis stringers? Who's looking to... There's a lot of you, there are existing stringers already now just looking to get into badminton stringing. What is it that brings you guys here? Again, let me know. Where are you watching from as well? I always like that. I love a bit of geography. So just let us know, guys. I like to push my string up, get out of the way. And that way after I just have to support the string. Come on. There we go. I finished last night at about midnight again. Just after midnight. 12:05 I think it was. Oh my. Oh no. Oh, I finished about 11:30. By the time I got downstairs to have some food and shower and all the rest of it, it was another late night, guys. This time of year gets tricky. So I have to do a lot of the work when I'm here. I do take a lot of holidays with my family because the kids are small. I'll never get that time back. So in one way, I lose some business. You guys gain some more work. But yeah, the stringing business industry, unless you have a shop and you're selling clothing and rackets and you name it, just the stringing business in itself isn't that profitable unless you are doing the racket yourself and have of course a high volume of rackets. Yeah, so you know, nothing's ever perfect, but it's okay. So 22 mains, guys. I will tell you how many crosses in just a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So it's a 22 by 22. It actually does say somewhere on this racket something about 88 holes. There you go, 88 holes. Obviously, every string has 2 sides. It's 2 holes to every string, so that's 44 plus 44, 88. So I guess that's their way of telling you the stringing pattern in a way, but not exactly. one of their Forza rackets the other day had 24 mains, which I've never seen before. Well, there you have it. So once I started stringing the racket, I think I had to go back, take out some string, take out the string, because I then noticed that I wouldn't have enough string with my normal measurements, because it was like 24 by 24 or something. 24 by 23 is ridiculous. I had so many strings. Quite annoying. Client brought 2 of those as well. So I learned my lesson the first time around, obviously. And it had to be a 4-knot. I think I did a 4-knot 2-piece stringing job. I don't know. Have a look at my videos. You might find it, but it was yeah, I'm not from a badminton background, but you know, I can do a good job, so I'd like to think. Stay away from the fixtures if you can, guys. I don't like it personally when my string is touching or leaning against the fixture of the fixtures that are touching. So here we go, guys. So I've got another interesting here. Okay, I'm pushing up this main string because there's literally the grommet is touching the main string, my 11th main string, and it's really annoying. That side's not so bad, but now this side should be more difficult if I remember correctly from yesterday, because I just don't have any space and I can't. It's really hard to push the grommet down here, the string down. So I'm gonna just try to nicely give myself some space somehow. As you can see, this is not ideal. The end is not that sharp, but not that bad either. So I don't want to really touch the frame with the awl at all. Come on, there we go. Okay, you might find that a bit tricky, guys. If you're just starting out as well, you might find it. Just be careful. Take your time. Honestly, take your time. Try not to scratch the client's racket. So just push outwards as you saw me do. I really don't like how that cross string sits pretty much on the main. Anyway, all good. We got through it. We survived another weave. Well, no broken racket on this one, guys. I don't know what happened to the other one. But I think she's had enough now. She's had 2 bad experiences when not stringing with me. The first one was she had never strung with me before, and then she decided after the experience she had at Wigmore. Oh, this is gonna be so annoying. Because not only I have no space here, but I've got a cross. This is the cross string I was talking about before. If it only went upwards, jeez. Let's see if I can get it underneath. Not an ideal situation at all. Come on. Please go through. Oh, come on. Let's see if I can make that as sharp as possible. But no, see, I can't. I can't be in both places at once. I've only got 2 hands. This one, I tell you, is a real challenge. No? I might have made it through, actually. Yes. How long will that take me? Minute and a half to just pull through 1 string. So again, the cross string here sits right on the grommet's touching the string pretty much. I don't get it on the 10th main again, like the other ones as well. I'm just gonna take this away now. Come on. Normally it's not that difficult to take off the stringing aids, but this racket is something. It really is. I hate it. I mean, I'm doing it just fine. It's not a problem. It's not a real problem, but if I had to choose to never see it again, if I had to choose one badminton racket, I don't want to see it. One brand, it's Forza. I don't know why there's have to be so different. And I don't see any of them. I never see really Forza rackets, so I don't know what that means, but again, I'm not from a badminton playing background myself. I will string all rackets quite professionally, I'd like to think. Again, another very, at least this grommet is at least not touching. I'm just going to weave a couple just to make my life a bit easier, but it's not going to make it all the way because I don't have enough string to do the whole racket with. And I should have just left myself a bunch of string more, but I didn't because of, well, a bit silly really, because the reel's pretty much done now. I don't have enough for another racket or even half, for the matter of fact. But I could have left myself, I could have been a bit more generous now thinking about it, but okay. Okay, good. I've got a call coming through, but I'm going to ignore it and call them back in 5 minutes once I finish this video. A client, actually. I have to say, whoever decided to make this racket like this is disappointing. Oh, could just barely grab the string. No, what have I done? There's a boo-boo somewhere. Oh, God, Gray. Don't answer your phone when stringing. Double under, double under. Really didn't need to do that there. Okay, and again. This time it wants to go underneath. Alright, nice sharp edge. Made my life much better, at least for that. We're good. I'm gonna get rid of these stringing aids. There's two down here. Right, guys, we're on our last cross. Thank whatever's out there that you might believe in. You can see how difficult this one, of course, being the last one, always is the most difficult. Another call, guys. I'll return that call as well in a moment. When it normally starts getting close to lunchtime, people start calling. They want to drop the racket off. I need to call this person back. I don't know. So possibly, I guess, a new client. The thing is, people, if you don't answer the phone sometimes, they go to the next person on Google straight away, which is understandable. But hopefully I can catch them in time. Guys, I almost feel relieved every time I finish this racket. But it's a great challenge. Sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a challenge when it comes to stringing. Fantastic. There you have it. So unfortunately she found another one. Unfortunately for me, so I've probably got another one coming my way. Right. It's a rock. That is a true rock. Straighten up your strings. Hopefully it's not too bad, because then you will lose tension the more you have to straighten up. Guys, all done. Again, that is the Forza, the annoying Forza Precision 10,000M. I'd like to think there's some decent content on this one at least. It's such a different racket. Hopefully that helps at least one of you out there somewhere in the world. Guys, amazing. Thanks for tuning in as always. Happy stringing. Bye bye until the next racket. Ciao.